If I had £1 for every single comment that told me to get a home storage battery, by my calculations, I'd probably have about 4 Tesla Powerwalls in the garage there. But today the postman has brought me something that does have a lithium battery in it. It does have an integrated inverter. And so let's get it out. It's a portable power station. Right, it looks good, and I'm sure there's loads of videos that talk about all the specs and everything this can do. But we need to test this. We need to torture test this. Let's give it a go. Okay, charging test number 1. All right, 6 devices plugged in. Let's press go. We hold it. There we go. 100%. Excellent. Right, now this one's charging. Good. And the iPad's charging. Okay, it may be 6 devices charging, and that may be all well and good for a little bit of camping, but we need something bigger. We need something a lot bigger. Maybe we can torture test it by making dinner. So let's try my world famous vegetable chili in the slow cooker. Let's see if this battery has got the stamina to take care of a slow cooker chili.
So this power station is 10 kilograms, it's 10 inches tall, 8 inches deep, 12 inches wide, 768 watt hours. It's rated for 3,000 plus life cycles to 80% of original capacity, and it has MPPT controller, so you can use it for solar. It can surge power up to 2,000 watts, and as you saw, it's got USB-C ports. They can do 100 watts each on those, as well as obviously you've got the AC outputs as well. It can charge in as little as 1.3 hours if you put it on a turbocharging mode, and it's got a nice app apparently as well.
All right, we've got our 6.5 litre slow cooker stacked with veggie chili for good enough for at least 10 people. A big full of chili, and we are gonna put this thing on. Right, power on, press the AC side. Okay, straight away, the slow cooker's taking 185 watts. Right, I better put the lid on this thing, and you can see what the time is. All right, will it be able to cook the whole chili? We're at 100% and we're outputting 184 watts on the AC side. Let's let it go.
What else do you need to know? Well, it can work as a UPS, so you can have it plugged in one end at all times, and then if the power trips, you'll never interrupt power to something like a fridge, so it can work in that battery backup mode. It can also take 950 watts input for the AC input for maximum charging, and if you're going to charge it from solar, 500 watts is the maximum. Of course, you can charge it from a 12 volt, also a 24 volt like socket, cigarette lighter socket in your car. 24 volt obviously for commercial vehicles.
All right, quick sit rep. 12, 16. Let's see how we're getting on now. 20, oh, it just went from 30% to 29% battery. It's maintained that 183, 184, 185 watts consistently. The chili is smelling amazing. Let's have a little look. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Delicious. Very good. Okay. It's getting nicely cooked through. Good little stir. All right, let's let it do its thing. Let's see how well cooked the chili is by the time we get down to no battery.
5-year warranty on it. The other thing you need to know is at the moment there's a spring sale on, and the normal retail price of $699 is currently down to $549. So far, I'm very impressed. The ruggedness and the feel of the Bluetti seems right up there. Seems proper top notch.
All right, there, we need to cool it. So the battery finally, after it got to the last 5%, and then it was just going and going and going forever. It's one of those kind of pessimistic range gauges, like in some EVs, it will get to 0, but it'll keep going for another 20, 30, 40, 50 miles or whatever. So we made it to 1:40 p.m. and we turned it on at about 9:40 a.m. So that's about 4 hours. And it was ticking over at 185 watts, there or thereabouts. So that would be 185 times 4, that would be 740 watt hours. The AC70 is rated at 768 watt hours, so I'm quite impressed with that. That's pretty close to what they're claiming. And of course, you're going to have some conversion losses in the AC inverter side of things. But as they say, the proof is in the eating of the pudding, or whatever the old saying is. Oh, that smells amazing. All right, sorry if this is going to offend your ears. Let's get a little bit of that courgette. Let's see how that's tasting. Well, it's cooked and it tastes delicious, but because I love my chili to really mature and really kind of everything to sink in, I'm going to pop the slow cooker over, plug it in, because I'm exporting over 3 kilowatts of energy at the moment. And what I didn't show is you can charge the Bluetti with obviously a car charger if you're on the move. If you've got any spare solar panel, they're standard MC4 connectors. So you can just plug this straight into any solar panel. I think they said up to 500 watts. Or in my case, I'm just going to use a standard like kettle lead, the 3-pin plug, which you've probably got loads of those lying around. So I'm going to get this charged up now while the sun's shining and get it ready for my next torture test. This was the endurance one. The next test is going to be how much peak power can it actually deliver. It says it's rated for 1,000 watts, but I want to put that to the test. I've got 2 very stupid ideas to try and push it. Number 1, could we run a fan heater? We could end up with a heated tent. This could expand our camping possibilities. Let's power it up. Switch the AC on. 370, 380, 390, 400, 460, 427, 437. This could be what we need to give it the proper torture test. If this doesn't do it, we're going to have to resort to some angle grinding. 560. Oh, that's kicking out some nice warm heat now. Settled down. 668. All right, I'm going to turn it up to the 2 kilowatt setting. Let's see what happens now. Oh, now we're cranking. We're over the rated output. When is it going to trip? 1,309. Wow, I'm impressed. Now that is really kicking out some heat. But it's still, the heater is still on the, whoa. Oh, it's crazy wind today. So we've got 1.2 kilowatts output on the inverter side. And the heater is still on its 2 kilowatt setting. And it's running just fine. It's not tripping out. I see, so it's settled exactly at 11660. Oh, okay, 1168. Let's get that display back on. But we are rinsing the power there. We are running it absolutely flat out. All right, before we kill this battery too much, let's try some angle grinding. And that's a lovely bit of exposed cable in there. Terrible. Who's been messing around with this grinder? Shocking. So typically I'd use a 4-inch by 1 mil or 1.1 mil cutting disc. This is a 3 mil thick one and it's a 5-inch disc. So it's a bit more of a challenge. And we're down to 91% battery and I cut through some pretty thick steel. That's got to be a good 4 mil thickness of steel there that I've cut through. This is some heavy duty pallet racking. Wow, I am impressed. I am impressed. Good work, Bluetti. We need to find something even harder. We need to get this thing to trip out. Has anyone ever wanted to have a party in the park when it's freezing rain outside? No, me neither. But indulge me, let's pretend it's 25 degrees and the village fair is happening right now. Do we need a petrol generator or can we get away with battery power? Wow, okay. Oh, we can blast our ears out. Welcome everyone to the village fair on this lovely summer's day. I think that works, even if that dog liker definitely didn't like that copyright free music. I better get out of there. We found the Achilles heel, so we're vacuuming out the car on the AC side. Can you see that in the sun? So it's using 663 watts. I've also plugged in a 12 volt compressor on the DC side to try and just add 5 psi to the tyres. And that is just sitting there at 50 watts, but it won't fire up this compressor. Just isn't quite enough, but I don't know if that... Oh, it's flashing at me on the DC side. Hang on. Hang on, I'm just doing an experiment.
Alright.
No, doesn't like this. Let's turn it off. Finally met its match. Turn it back on. DC. No, it won't fire up that compressor. Interesting. Okay. But it's happy to power the vacuum cleaner. Okay. Test half successful. It appears as if the trusty Mercedes-Benz compressor that I've had for the last 10 or 15 years may have just given up the ghost. So maybe it wasn't the fault of the Bluetti AC70 after all. Let me try my backup compressor and see where that gets us. Right, here we go people. We're still vacuuming on the AC side of things. Got my old Continental compressor. I've never been a fan of it. It's a bit low power, but let's see what it does. If we get this on here, we out of the shade, press the DC. Nope. Oh yes, it works. Drawing, if you can see that. 100 watts on the compressor, 640 watts, 650 watts on the vacuum cleaner. Alright, we can run this compressor all day long at 100 watts, no problem. So here we are, back where we started. So who is this actually for? Well, camping, it's a no-brainer. It can do everything. And I was really skeptical when Bluetti contacted me and said they'd send this to me. I thought 768 watt hours, how useful can that really be? What I didn't capture on camera is this powered my wife's hairdryer, and she dried her hair while we were running a little bit late on a journey in the car. What else did I not capture on camera? Oh, we mowed the lawn with this as well. So this can power the lawnmower, although it couldn't do it at the same time as we were vacuuming out the car. So if you're super lazy, you don't have to unwind an extension lead and wind an extension lead back up. You just walk out with this little beast. It's actually performed, it's exceeded my expectations. There's possibly quite a few more use cases for it. Especially for those who live in a flat, maybe you can't run an extension lead down to vacuum out your car. this will be the thing that will get you out of trouble. I'd love to test one that had maybe a little bit extra capacity and torture test that. I'd also love to try the solar panel and see how it charges. I don't have any spare solar panels laying around that I could use that adapter, but it seemed to charge okay, plugged into the car and get that charging up. What else have I tested? Everything else you'll see in the video. I tried to torch test it. I tried to get it to trip out. The only time we managed that was multiple appliances, flat out, high load appliances. Otherwise, it just kept going, and it's been super robust. I haven't delved into the app too much, but it's got loads of great settings in there as well. I'm not going to cover the app in this video. I'll leave that to someone else out there in YouTube world. But thanks to Bluetti for sending this to me. I'm very impressed, and I'm going to have a little look on their website at some of their other products and maybe some things that would be really interested to you who follow me on this channel.
Well, here's the Bluetti website. You may never have heard of them, but if you're watching my channel, you'll definitely be interested in learning about them. So they have these portable power stations, which I've covered in this video, and they've got small ones, large ones, everything in between. You can actually get like an add-on battery module to the existing one, so you're not necessarily upgrading the capacity of the inverter part of it, but you can get extra battery capacity. What else are they showing here? So I think this is their largest one. I'd love to have a go with this and see exactly what else I could power and what could be simultaneously pushed to the limit. This one they do a little portable fridge that can be powered from it. AC2A, okay, so AC70, I think that's the one I've got, which is kind of like the little baby one, but does an excellent job. It's very impressive. And then this is the big boy here, EP760, which is a modular energy storage system. So these are like battery units, and then it has like an inverter module with it as well. Interestingly, this is another small one. Let's have a little look at some of the specs on this. So they offer refurbished ones. They do even more heavy duty power stations than the smaller portable one that I've been working with. Let's have a quick little delve into those. Here you see. So this is like a 5.1 kilowatt hour unit, and it's $5,000, and it's still a power station that you can wheel around. So what does this come with? Because it's a good like UPS. And so what are the inputs and outputs? Does this also have like MPPT with solar input? Or is this just for mains? Let's scroll down here. Okay, so yeah, you can buy it with a solar panel. So if you had a complete off-grid summer house or something, this may be absolutely ideal. If you're one of those people who works out of a little outhouse at your place, this is what you need. Although financially, it may be cheaper to just run a mains cable. This does give you a level of independence. Lots of ports, lots of options there. UPS, does this show that you can... Okay, so it can take up to 2.4 kilowatt of solar input, which is pretty significant. Okay, and you can buy them as little packages. Anyway, that's not the thing that I'm the most interested in. I'd love Bluetti, if you're watching this, send me one of your solar panels that I can use with the AC70, or send me a bigger one of these packs, or both. Send me whatever you like. I'd love to test it for you. You've got to be cheeky sometimes. Right, this is what I'm interested in here. So this is £4,000, and you're getting nearly 10 kilowatt hour of battery, but it comes with the inverter as well, which is interesting. So I'm not sure now why the price has jumped so much. Now it's saying 6.5 grand. Okay. Okay. So it's 4 grand just for a 5 kilowatt hour battery. Okay. All right. So it can take 9 kilowatt of solar input, single phase, not 3-phase, modular design. And this is interesting that it's modular, so it can grow as necessary. You don't necessarily need to. So if we compare this, for example, to a Give Energy all-in-one or a Tesla Powerwall, I know that there is something coming with Give Energy, but Tesla Powerwall, to expand it to more battery capacity, you need a whole other Powerwall, and so this may be a good strategy. It looks pretty compact, relatively speaking, and so I guess that would be 15 kilowatt hours with an inverter, all neatly integrated, no cables running anywhere. That's impressive. And here we're just going through the batteries of home battery storage. So I guess, does that mean up to 20 kilowatt hours on one inverter? Is that the maximum there? 10-year warranty, and that's cobalt free. Yeah, LFP, excellent. And there are the top rated products. Okay. Well, that is interesting, to say the least. So if this was me for my use, I'd be interested in the 15 kilowatt hour, because I know that would cover my energy demands quite easily. We're looking at £10,500, and that's battery and inverter all in one. So that 9 kilowatt of solar input. So I don't know how many MPPTs this has. I would need 3 inputs, but it would be able to cope with all of my solar input. Tech specs, here we go. So good size. This is the specs for the inverter, 44 kilogram inverter. That's pretty beefy, isn't it? IP65, so it could be mounted externally outside the building, which is interesting, and usual connection, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. I don't know if they've got a web portal. It can work with feed-in tariff. Okay, it can work on or off grid, so it can work independently. Right, so yeah, it has got 3 MPPT inputs, which is perfect for what I need. And these are the battery modules. So the battery modules are 58 kilograms each, and it doesn't. Does it have an IP rating on that? No. They're a 90% depth of discharge battery to protect themselves. Okay, and a little diagram there showing the sizes and the weights. I'm interested. I've been very impressed by their little portable power station, and I like the fact that this is nicely integrated and nice and compact, no cables running anywhere, and it's just one single tower, and I could initially install it at maybe 10 kilowatt hours and see if that will cut it. If not, then you can expand up to 15 or 20 kilowatt hours. This could be exactly what I need, and it's although it looks like you pay a little bit of a premium, there's of course cheaper ways to do this if you're not worried about the kind of integrated look. Maybe I should pull up a little spreadsheet and pull some of the specs in for the Bluetti EP760 against the Tesla Powerwall and against the Give Energy all-in-one. That would be a very interesting comparison, because we don't hear about Bluetti here in the UK very much. So I don't know how well they're doing internationally, but I was very intrigued when they sent me some message. So if you'd love to see me test one of these big batteries, then put it in the comments so Bluetti can see. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope that this little review of the AC70 has been helpful to you, especially if you love camping like I do.